So once we're done with the creation of our project, first save the record, and the next task is to create the data model. The data model contains the entity types and like association entity set, etc. So based on requirement, we have to define single or multiple entity types. So here in this example, in data model, first I'm creating my first entity types. So for creation of entity types, we have three options. Option 1, by right click on this data model, create entity type. This completely manual process, adding field one by one. Option number 2 is instead of create, go to import and select the DDIC structure. As we already have one table, ZOVBAK, or any structure, so we can add the fields directly from that structure. The option 3 is we can add the fields from the RFC, BAPI, etc. So here first we'll see first two options, that is creation of manual and then importing of DDIC. This I will cover when we'll create the OData with RFC, BAPI. So for creating the entity type, go to data model, right click, create entity type. Entity type is collection of fields. So give some meaningful name here. So here first I'm giving as a SO header M for manual. So entity types we can refer as the work area, which can hold a single record. And here we can see the create related entity set option. The entity sets acts as an internal table with this line type. So by default system will assign some name. Press enter. So here we can see the entity type is created. This we can refer as the SE11 structure name. Now inside this structure, we have to add our fields. For adding our fields, double click on the properties. And here we have to add one by one field as per our requirement, because here I'm first showing with the manual option. So to adding a field, click on append record. The first field I'm giving here as the VBELN, and we have to mark as key field based on our requirement, whether it is a single key field or multiple key field. And next we have to give data type, whether it is a string, date, etc. as we use data element in the SA11. The same way we have to give the data type. So here I'm going with the string. To add the next field, again click on new record, add the second field as ER date. Now this is not my key field, so I'm not selecting this checkbox. Select the type as date and time. So this is the way to create the fields manually, but this is time consuming, because suppose we have 10 to 20 fields, so creating one by one will take a lot of time, and mostly we generally work with the structure and table. So that's why in rare case we go with this option. Suppose we don't have any structure, and if you want to add the field from different structure, okay, then in that case only we create the manual option. So this is option 1. Now option 2 is right click, go to import. This I'm going to use for my practice, and here select DDIC structure. Again give the name here. So this time I'm giving as SO header. Entity type, we can see two options here. One is entity type and second is complex type. The complex type we use when we have the nested structure, like some fields inside that one more structure that we'll see in the upcoming session. So as of now, we are going with the entity types. And here by default the checkbox is selected to create default entity set. Now as I selected the DDIC structure, import from DDIC structure. So here we have to give the name. So I'm going to select from ZOVBAK table. Click on next. Select all the fields which we want to add into our system. To select all, just click here. I don't want mandate field, so I'm removing the mandate from here. Click on next button. So system will create automatically all those fields. Now here you can observe those are the ABAP name, and those are the front-end system name with the data type. And this become case sensitive, so if you want to change to capital letters, we can do from here. And we have to mark one field as a key field. So I'm selecting this as a key field, that is VBELN. This will be used by the front-end system, and the back-end system will use this VBELN field. Click on Finish. Double-click on SO header. Double-click on Properties. So we can see the fields are created. As I explained, this is a case sensitive. We'll understand what is this case sensitive means. Now, if you see here, we just selected the field from data dictionary. System has automatically selected all the fields with their respective type, whether it's a string, time, decimal, etc., with their size, the label, the Excel document created on, etc., and the ABAP field name. So it is better, it is always good to create the entity types with the structure if it is possible. If not possible, then definitely we have to create manually. So once we create the entity types, first click on Save. Now, after Save, suppose we want to create 2-3 entity types. So first create all entity types, like here SO header, M, item, etc. After creating all the entity types, we have to create the generate runtime objects. So click here, generate runtime objects. So when we click on generate runtime objects, the system by default creating some default classes in the backend system, which I explained in the theory session. Here the base class is, that is MPC, model provider class, and by inheriting this base class, system generated the MPC extension class. Similarly, we have the DPC class, that is the data provider class, and the data provider extension class. And this is a service name which will be generated. So better don't change any name, just keep that as it is. So system will generate so many objects once we click on the generate runtime objects. The MPC class will give the model detail, the model which we have created, like this entity type SO header M, what are the fields inside this structure, that all we can access through the MPC class. And if you want to add any additional fields apart from this, then you have to add that into the extension class. So those are generated automatically. And suppose after generating the runtime objects, if you are doing any modification in the data model, then again we have to generate the runtime objects. Whenever we do any modification in the data model side, we have to generate the runtime objects. The system will regenerate all the classes again based on the new model which is designed. So after creating the entity types, click Save and then click on runtime objects. So as soon as we click on the continue button, system will ask for package or local objects. So once we generate the runtime objects from this button, so here we can see system has created the runtime artifacts, different classes, and the service maintenance also. And here in the service implementation, we can see for both entity types, as we have created 2 entity types, one is for SO header M, one is this SO header. So here in the service implementation, we can see inside each entity type, we have some methods which is called a CRUD method, like create, delete, get, etc. So for every entity set, we have to implement those options, those methods to access the data. So this is about creating the data model and generating the runtime objects. So after this, how to register service and how to maintain service, we'll see in the next session.